It sounds simple. Skip eating for 48 hours, and your body should burn fat. But the real story goes deeper. Within hours, hormones spike, hunger grows sharper, and your metabolism quietly rewires, preparing for a fuel switch most of us will never feel. What unfolds inside you during those critical hours, and just how far does your metabolic machinery go to adapt? 12 hours without food can feel surprisingly long. The first signs aren't just a dull ache in your stomach. Hunger arrives in waves, sharpened by a hormone called ghrelin. As blood sugar dips, ghrelin pulses up from the stomach, sending signals to your brain that grow louder with each passing hour. Cravings sharpen. Food commercials seem more tempting. Even the faint scent of bread or coffee can trigger a sudden rush of need. But inside, your digestive system is still at work. Digestive enzymes and stomach acids continue to flow as if expecting another meal. Saliva production stays high, and the gut's rhythmic contractions, called migrating motor complexes, sweep through, clearing out leftovers from your last meal. These internal movements can sometimes be mistaken for true hunger pangs, even when your body still holds enough stored fuel. Mood often shifts during these early hours. Some people notice irritability or restlessness, a phenomenon sometimes called being hangry. Others feel a dip in focus or a slight headache. This isn't just psychological. Rising ghrelin and falling glucose tweak brain chemistry, nudging you toward food-seeking behavior. For many, concentration wavers and patience wears thin. Yet, the body is not in crisis. At this stage, blood glucose remains within a normal range, and energy comes mainly from the glycogen stored in your liver. The real metabolic drama hasn't begun. Instead, your system is quietly preparing for the next act, a switch that will only flip if you continue to abstain from eating. These first 12 hours are a negotiation between habit and biology. The urge to eat is strong, but it's not yet an emergency. The body is reading the signals, calibrating hormone levels, and maintaining readiness for a deeper shift. As the hours tick by, the alarms grow louder, setting the stage for the metabolic transformation to come. As the fast stretches beyond 12 hours, the body's chemistry enters a new phase. The liver, silent and steady, becomes the switch operator for the coming transformation. Glycogen, the liver's store of quick-release glucose, has been draining hour by hour. By the 24th hour, that reservoir is nearly empty. With so little carbohydrate left to fuel the body, the liver receives a clear signal. It's time to switch from burning sugar to burning fat. This transition is more than just a backup plan. As insulin levels drop to their lowest, glucagon rises, unlocking fat stores and releasing free fatty acids into the bloodstream. These fatty acids surge upward, providing a new source of energy for muscles and organs. The respiratory quotient, a measure of what fuel the body is burning, drops from around 0.85 closer to 0.75, a clear sign that fat oxidation is now dominant. The liver now takes on the task of converting these fatty acids into ketone bodies, molecules that can power the brain and other tissues when glucose is scarce. Ketones begin to appear in the blood, at first in small amounts but steadily rising as the hours pass. This is the earliest stage of ketosis, a process that will deepen if fasting continues. Every cell feels the change. Muscle tissue, once reliant on glucose, adapts to the new fuel mix. The brain, usually picky about its energy source, starts to accept ketones alongside what little glucose remains. Even the heart, a tireless engine, thrives on the steady flow of fatty acids. Beneath the surface, this metabolic switch is not an on-off event, but a carefully timed sequence. Hormones like AMPK and enzymes in the liver coordinate the handoff from carbohydrate to fat. For most adults, this shift happens between 18 and 24 hours after the last meal, though age, metabolic health, and previous diet can nudge the timing forward or back. In those who follow high-carbohydrate diets, the switch may take a bit longer, and for those already adapted to low-carb eating, it can arrive sooner. By the end of the first full day without food, the body is running primarily on stored fat. The liver's role as a metabolic switchboard is clear, directing traffic, allocating fuel, and keeping energy flowing even as external supplies run dry. This gear change sets the stage for deeper adaptations, as ketones and fat now power the repair and renewal processes that come next. Cells across the body begin a quiet but dramatic transformation as the fast passes the 24-hour mark. Without a steady stream of nutrients, the usual growth signals powered by the mechanistic target of rapamycin pathway fade into the background. In their place, a different set of instructions takes over: conserve, recycle, repair. This is the domain of autophagy, a process where cells break down and repurpose their own damaged parts. In animal studies, the number of autophagosums, tiny recycling centers inside cells, climbs steadily after 24 hours without food, peaking around the 48-hour window. Liver and nerve cells in particular show a surge in this internal housekeeping, as if the body is using the fasting period to clean up and rebuild from the inside out. The trigger for this self-renewal is a drop in mechanistic target of rapamycin activity, which acts as a molecular sensor for energy and nutrients. When mechanistic target of rapamycin is quiet, AMP-activated protein kinase steps in to activate autophagy machinery. This shift does not just clear debris, it also protects cells from stress and may slow the aging process, at least in animal models. While direct evidence in humans is limited, rising levels of ketones and certain stress response proteins suggest similar repair engines are at work beneath the surface. Alongside these repair signals, growth hormone levels climb sharply, up to 5 times higher than baseline in some studies. This is not about building muscle in the gym, but about protecting lean tissue while the body runs on fat and ketones. Growth hormone helps preserve muscle mass, even as energy comes from stored fat. The combined effect is a system-wide investment in survival, recycling worn-out parts, conserving what is essential, and preparing for the return of food. These invisible engines of repair set the stage for the broader metabolic changes that will soon become visible. 9 amateur weightlifters volunteered to go without food for 48 hours. The changes in their bodies, minds, and moods were tracked from start to finish, offering a rare close-up look at what really happens over 2 days of fasting. By the end, every participant had lost weight. The average mass dropped from 89.3 kilograms to 86.8 kilograms, a loss of about 5.5 pounds in just 2 days. Heart rate slowed, and systolic blood pressure readings fell, reflecting a shift toward deeper parasympathetic activity. Blood tests revealed a steep decline in fasting glucose, falling from 4.81 to 3.74 millimoles per liter. But the drop was not uniform. 4 of 9 participants entered clinical hypoglycemia, with glucose dipping below 3.5 millimoles per liter, an important reminder that responses can vary widely even under the same conditions. Cognitive testing told a more nuanced story. Mental flexibility, the ability to switch between tasks and adapt to new rules, improved, hinting at the brain's capacity to use ketones as an alternative fuel. Yet other cognitive domains like memory and spatial orientation held steady, neither better nor worse. Oxygen use in the brain, measured through hemoglobin levels, actually decreased, matching the lower glucose available. Despite this, participants managed to maintain mental sharpness in key areas. Mood was another story. Feelings of hunger soared, nearly doubling on a standardized scale, while fullness plummeted. Reports of anger increased as well, outpacing other negative emotions. This was not just a case of being a little cranky. Physiological stress and hormonal changes combined to make emotional regulation more difficult. The data paint a picture of real, visible outcomes: measurable weight loss, improved cardiovascular markers, enhanced mental flexibility, and a clear impact on mood. For anyone considering a 48-hour fast, these numbers offer a grounded sense of what to expect, both positive and challenging. Today, metabolic diseases affect over 1 in 3 adults in North America and Europe. As science unpacks the body's fasting response, the conversation shifts from fad to fact. The real question is, what will you do with this knowledge now that change is no longer just possible, but measurable? Share your thoughts below.